Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk about Black History Month. The month that is a celebration of my people, because I am a black man and everything. And it's about all our accomplishments, all the oppression that we have gone through over like centuries of living in like America and stuff like that. So I'm here today to talk to you about how there is a growing pattern of absentee black fathers in modern day television that portray biracial black children. So I watch a lot of TV, like a lot of TV over like the span of my lifetime. I probably clocked in about 1 million hours of television. And when it comes to like modern day television, that is more diverse, and thank God it's more diverse because TV was surely lacking diversity back in the day. And so television and commercials and movies are a lot more diverse than they have ever been in the past. And one of those things that they're doing now is introducing more people of color. And I've noticed that, like, with a lot of characters that are people of color, say, like black, for example, they don't tend to cast dark skinned black people. They tend to cast light skinned black people who are mixed with other races, mainly white. And there's nothing wrong with biracial people at all. Don't get me confused and don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be there. They have every right to be on television, and I enjoy seeing them on television. The problem is, though, is that every time they need like a black person, a Hispanic person, or like a Latino, or well, yeah, Latino and Hispanic are completely different. An Asian person, they always go with the lighter complexion, and they always go normally with biracial people. And so, like, and that's of course to appeal to that of a white audience. And a lot of these shows and movies that are created are predominantly created by like white people. And so they do that to like not offend like white people and to like make them happy. Because of course a lot of white people don't like seeing diverse people on television. It was that way in the past, and now they're more vocal about it online. And so like I enjoy and I love seeing people of color on TV. I just wish that you could see like more of the variety and more of the dark skinned people. Because like I've noticed that like so many of like the people of color are just so light skinned and everything. And I hate always pointing that out because it makes it sound like people have a problem with that. But they don't. They just want to see dark skinned people on screen. You know what I'm saying? Cause like take the rebooted Gossip Girl show on HBO Max. Now I've never watched Gossip Girl in my life. I've never watched the original that's like from the CW that's predominantly white, and I've never watched the HBO reboot. But I was watching this other dude's YouTube channel and he was reviewing like the rebooted Gossip Girl. And as I'm looking at the cast and everything, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people of color on that show. I'm all like, oh, but there's a lot of light skinned people on that show. I'm all like, there's a lot of caramel people on there. And it's like, and that's something I've been noticing with a lot of modern day stuff. They want to add diversity in people of color, so they add people of color, but they're always light skinned. And I'm all like, you know what? It's okay to add chocolate and coffee and peanut butter on your show. You don't always have to have caramel. Because a lot of this like rebooted stuff with diverse cast and everything is such a caramel cast. It's always a blend of light skinned people on there. And so I noticed something as well. I'm just like, where are their black daddies at? They're clearly mixed with black, but where are their black dads at? I see their white moms, I see their Asian moms, I see their Hispanic moms, but I never see their black fathers. I'm just kind of like, This has to be more than a coincidence, just like how in modern day television and especially commercials, you see all these interracial families and stuff. And I believe that this is something that's going around in Hollywood, North Hollywood, which is Canada, and whatever European countries like Britain and stuff, and England and whatever, call their Hollywood. I don't know what the world they call their Hollywood, but the entertainment world, let's just put it like that. It has to be more than a coincidence because a lot of things do get mandated and passed around. Like one of the reasons why there wasn't that much like people of color back in the day, like say in cartoons, right? Justice League that was created on the CW by Bruce Timm and his people. I think it was Dwayne McDuffie. He wanted to add more people of color, mainly more black people on the show because he used to work for this comic book company that deals with a lot of like black superheroes. And the network said something about, oh, there's a rule to like diversity. You can only have like two black people on like a show and this and that, but no more than that. And it's just like, what? That was in the 2000s and everything. So things like that are mandated and it's starting to change a bit more now because Hollywood has been called out on it and now they're scared. But the problem is every time they want to add diversity to a show, they don't always do it right. And so when they do it wrong, then it looks like it's pandering to people and stuff. It's almost like self-sabotage so they can go back to an all-white medium and stuff. But back to the topic at hand, absentee fathers. Like I've noticed that they like, and it don't matter if it's like an American show, a British show, or a Canadian show. I've noticed that every time there's a biracial black child on screen, they will have their white mother there, but they never have a black father. I'm just like, why the heck is that? But see, they're imitating life. It's art imitating life. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But what really caused me to have this revelation and everything? Well, it was Cheryl Lee Ralph who was on Moisha. Now, Moisha came out in like the 90s. It lasted for 6 seasons and it starred a all-black cast. And Moisha was on UPN. Moisha was a big like thing back in the day. It even had a spinoff, The Parkers. And so with Moisha, it was one of those rare black television sitcoms that revolved around a black girl. Sister Sister did it before. And I can't really think of too many shows that revolve around a black female character. Normally it's a black male character. And so the actress who played the stepmom, Cheryl Lee Ralph, she quit the show in the last season and became a recurring character. Why? Because of the introduction of Ray J, played by Brandy's real life brother. I forget the name of the character he played on there. But basically, it was like this. It turned out that Frank had an affair many years ago when he got with Moisha's stepmother. And so he had a son at a wedlock and nobody knew about it. And it was basically just so Ray J can be on the show and all this other crap. So anyway, it was a story angle I did not like because I did not like Ray J's acting. But anyways, and now I don't like the man because he gave us Kim Kardashian. Lord Jesus have mercy. But anyways, Cheryl did an interview and said how she was disgusted by this storyline. Now, Moisha was created by 3 black people. And she was outraged by this because she says it gives a bad message to black families, and especially that of black men and black fathers. She said that, you know, because the thing about television, I'll get to what, I can't remember exactly what she said, but see, here's the thing about television and black shows is that they're kind of the opposite of what real black life is like. Normally, if you have a black sitcom that's an all black family, you will have like a perfect family. You have like the parents who have like these amazing jobs. They're middle class or they're rich. And like for the most part, the kids are very well mannered. This is complete opposite of most black families in America because, or just around the world, because most black families are poor. And we all know who made us that way. And so like TV is supposed to help educate black people, especially young ones and black families of, hey, look, if you work hard enough and you hit the books hard enough, you can have this lifestyle like say on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with the Banks family, a very rich family living in a mansion, and the parents have amazing jobs and everything. And that one show whose name shall not be mentioned because of the disgraced actor, but the Huxtable family. Father was like a doctor, mother was like a lawyer, and you always see that because they want to not have black people always end up in like the system. They don't always want to see black people end up in jail. They don't want to see black people ending up in the streets selling stuff or shooting up this place or something like that. They want to not make the urban ghetto lifestyle, and they want to like change that to help better black people. That's what TV tries to do when it comes to black families. So predominantly black sitcoms that were created by black people tried to achieve this. And and you remember there was very few black sitcoms back in those days, in the 80s and stuff. But there was some in the 70s, like the Jeffersons and like all this other stuff. And Good Times, they showed like the opposite, was like to live like with a poor black family. And then you have Martin that decided to show what the urban lifestyle is like for an actual urban like black person. It ain't all like roses and stuff. But even though he still had a good job too, but he didn't grow up that way. And he had more of an attitude than most like black people you see on television. And with these black sitcoms, you always had a black family and you had their black father there front and center, unless they killed them off, like what was it, Good Times, I think. But anyways, you always had that. Like, granted, yes, in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will did not have a father, and his father was crummy, basing off his real father's life, but Uncle Phil was there for his kids, and Uncle Phil was the uncle to Will and a father figure to Will. This is to, like, help black men actually stay in the lives of their black kids. And Cheryl was upset because she said this is just a disgrace, taking this like strong black man on a leading show and reducing him to having an affair on like his wife and breaking up their family and stuff. Because television tries so hard to not do things like that. And so if you had like a sitcom, a black sitcom that's like all black and created by black people, most likely the black father will still always be there in their life, but not in modern day television with all these biracial black kids, I've noticed. And one of the things about modern television is that they're trying to emulate real life. See, in real life, sadly, black fathers are absent in their child's lives. Basically, they get these women pregnant and then they like, oop, I ain't the baby daddy. So they leave and they mostly never see their kids again. And then if they do, they don't take care of them or they don't take care of them financially. And this is something that has plagued black families for like ever. And this is real because, there are statistics on this, and there are twice as number as black fathers who will abandon their family as opposed to a white, Hispanic, or Asian family. And even in some shows where you will see there's no white father because he's like a con artist or like a druggie or something like that, eventually they do show up or they're at least mentioned. But in these new modern day like television shows, you don't see the black father and you don't see them being mentioned. And it's quite a shame. And it's not just regular black people, it is celebrities as well. 50 Cent got called out by his son, and 50 Cent clapped back by basically abandoning his son. Tyrese Gibson constantly has to keep going back to court because like he supposedly won't pay child support and everything. Ludacris was in that same boat when like Paul Walker died. They all like, I think with Ludacris, it's either he didn't pay child support or alimony or something. And so he's all like, well, production got halted because of the death of Paul Walker, so we ain't making that much money right now. And Tyrese tried to use the same excuse of why he can't pay his child support. I don't know what to say about Tyrese, man. Like, I don't know. Like, him suing, like, Home Depot, and he got caught on camera, like, that man fell from grace. And don't even get me started on black people owning white slave comment. But then, like, then you have like Flavor Flav, who have like a million kids. And the reason why I'm bringing him up is because with the last kid he made by some young lady, he's all like, I need a like paternity test. I don't know if that's my child or whatever. But it turned out to be his kid. And normally if a father has to ask for a paternity test, that means one of three things. Either their woman is hoeing around and they don't know who the baby daddy is. Either they just don't want to be a father or they ain't got the money to be a father. And there are tons of black celebrities that just like abandon their kids or whatever. But there are tons of black celebrities that stay in their kids' life. And then you see things like Iggy Azalea. I don't know who she made a baby by, but she made it with a black dude. And now those two aren't together no more. And then she had like a meltdown on Twitter years ago talking about my baby daddy ain't in my son's life and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like drama. So this is why networks try their best to educate these black men into staying in their child's lives. And, because like it's something that is plaguing our community and everything. But then you get these modern day shows, and it's just kind of like, I want to give you a couple of quick examples because this video is starting to get a little long, and I wanted to show you from the shows I'm talking about. Now, these shows are very recent, from anywhere between the past 5 to 8 years. And so let's start off with I Know What You Did Last Summer, the television series. There was a character named Riley. She is biracial, she is black, she is white. And so, like, in the show, we only get to see her mother, who is white. And there's never, ever no mention of, like, her father. We never get to see him, not a picture, not nothing. And in the show, Raleigh is, for the most part, a pretty good character, but she's also bad. She sells drugs and everything. And she sells drugs. We find out her family is very poor. Her mom is like anywhere between like ghetto and redneck and stuff. Very trashy. And so it's implied that like, okay, that the father abandoned them, the mother is just some like reckless crazy person, and they're very poor and she sells drugs to make by. This is a terrible example of a black character or a biracial or whatever. And it only further a stereotype of like the abandoned like black father and how the child goes like on a bad path. Scream Resurrection or Scream Season 3, we get to see the character Liv. She's smart, she's headstrong, and in this series they reversed it. So in this time we get to see the father, her white father, a cop. Oh, and then we don't get to see or nor mention her mother, who of course is black because Liv is half black, half white. Now it's ironic that like they got rid of the black mother instead of the black father. But when they gave her a father who is white, they gave him a very good job. He's a cop of all things. And so they're kind of like, all right, look, her father's a good guy. He stayed here and he has a good job. But then when it's in the reverse situation, when it's like the black father who abandoned them, and you normally see like a poor family and stuff, but she is not poor whatsoever. In Scream 5 and Scream 6, we are introduced to the Meek Twins, and they're half black, half Jewish. They are related to Randy and Randy's sister. Randy's sister is the mother. And so, like, there's never ever been any mention of their father. We never get to see a picture. Obviously, they are half black. And so the movie, for some bizarre reason, does not want to depict the father, and it's never explained why. But most of these other characters in the past, now with Scream, you never really get to see the parents, but like, lately what they've been doing is that they've been showing a few of the parents, and then the newer kind of like soft reboot thing and stuff like that. Like, we know Sam's parents. Well, we don't know the mother yet. She's Hispanic and she's missing, and the dad was white and he was a crazy killer. When it comes to Tara, we don't know what her parents look like, but we know she's related to Sam and had the same mother. In the fifth one, we got to see that Judy the cop, and we got to see her son. And so, like, it's weird because you have this major two characters that are twins, and they're related to one of the most famous like characters in the Scream franchise, but yet we never got to see their father. And now we never will, because so far Scream 7 has been scrapped because of like the craziness that's been going on with Spyglass and Melissa and Jenna and stuff. Ambrose from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Now, this was really interesting and odd when I saw him. He is Sabrina's cousin, and he is the nephew of the two aunts. And everybody in the family is white, and he's the only biracial one who's mixed with black. And it's just kind of like, I remember seeing, I was like, where the heck did he come from? And we will never know. We will never know if his mom is black or if his dad is black, because the show has never made any reference to that of like, his parents and stuff. We just know somehow he is related to them with a British accent because the aunts have British accents. And the show never, ever, ever wanted to explain that, what left people very, very, very confused. And last, Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Revival Season 2. Are You Afraid of the Dark decided to go in a more diverse route when they did the soft reboot revival thing, because the original show was predominantly white. And so we have the characters of Hannah and Seth Romano. And so Romano, of course, is, well, that sounds more Italian and everything. However, the actor who plays Seth, I originally thought that he was Gabby's sister. I mean, look at those two, but I'll get into her a little bit later. But no, he is Hannah's brother. Gabby's brother. But anyway, he's Hannah's brother, and Hannah is white. And we see her mom in the show, and she is white. And there's never no depiction of like the father. Now, the actor who plays Seth, the actor is mixed with a couple of stuff. He has Puerto Rican, Chile, and he's black. He might have a little white in him. And, but yeah, he's Afro-Latino. And never ever once do they show his father or mention his father. And it's just so strange and bizarre, because then you left scratching your head, well, how the heck exactly is he related to her? Now, in terms of Gabby, they do the opposite with Gabby. We get to see her black mother, but we never get to see her father. We don't know if he's white or Hispanic or what. He could be half black, half anything. But the thing with her is that sometimes in television, they will cast the two darkest parents and still give them a light-skinned looking biracial child. And so we really don't know what race her father is. There's a pattern, man. Like I'm telling you, there's a pattern of these modern day television shows that are created by white creators that are having these biracial black kids. have absent fathers and everything. It's too much of a coincidence. And I believe they're trying to imitate life, but I also believe they're doing this on purpose to kind of like shame black people and stuff. Because Hollywood is shady and very sneaky. There's a lot of sneaky stuff that goes on behind the scenes, especially with these writers and showrunners and stuff like that. They will always do something to put others down and make themselves look great or their race and stuff. So I think truly they are just doing this to like, just shame like black men and black fathers. Granted, black men need to step up and they need to do better, but not every black father is absent in their child's life. And it is really disrespectful when you constantly see this pattern happening in modern day television when there are actual good black fathers who take care of their kids. And in this modern day storytelling and stuff, you see absent like white fathers, but then you always see them come back, or you at least see them be mentioned. But it's bizarre how you never ever see none of these black fathers on like these shows and everything. And in one instance, there's a missing black mother, but it's normally a missing black father. So here are a couple of quick examples of like some of the stuff where there are like absent like black fathers in the show, where you see the mother, who is either white, Jewish, or whatever, front and center taking care of this child, but there is no black father whatsoever, not even a slight mention of them. Happy Black History Month, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.